Hey guys, and welcome to another live stream. So we're just going to be doing a more chilled one today. I'm going to be live for about an hour. The market's very iffy. It's very up and down. And I kind of just want to be there to explain what I'm going through, my emotions, and kind of how I'm strategizing my moves to prepare for a possible continuation down or a bounce back upwards. But guys, let me know in the comments if the sound's okay, if it's too loud, if it's too quiet. Just let me know and I'll tweak it, but just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can all hear me. Chuck a like down if you can. Got my Yorkshire tea and some triple choc biscuits ready. What's everybody sipping on? I'm actually sipping on a Caribou today, which is ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. I'm drinking fizzies. It's the weekend. But the market, there's opportunities everywhere. And I think a lot of you are probably going to be looking at the situation that's going on with BOEM at the moment. So let's bring up a screen. And let's take a quick look at the crypto bubble system. So I think this is a good way to look at things, because if you look at the day, you can see realistic what's going on. But if you look at the week, you can see that it's kind of mixed. Some things are bleeding, some things aren't bleeding. The Solana ecosystem seems to be pushing forward each time we move upwards in this current state. Every time BTC tries to make a reversal, Solana tends to be leading it. We'll be going over lots of different things, but what I'm going to be doing is going through some LUNC updates quickly, some XRP updates. We'll go over some meme coins. We'll go over the broader market. I'll cover some news, and then I'll do a Q&A in the last 10, 15 minutes for you guys. So like I said, chuck a thumbs up. Let me know if everything's okay. Let me know what you guys are trading, what you're into at the moment. And yeah, I'll try and get through things as best as I can. My voice is doing a little bit better today. I went and had more or less a session with somebody who does talking therapies, and they were explaining to me about humans taking in air when you talk a lot and ways to not do that. So hopefully my voice is going to be a little bit better for you guys. I won't keep going croaky and stuff like that. But as I was saying, on the day, it's looking really mixed. I myself was saying that we do a pullback, and I was seeing 3 different indicators across the market in my spectrum. And that was an XRP indication of a decent breakout. LUNC was supposed to bounce on the trajectory line alongside XRP, and they were supposed to both break out. XRP broke out, LUNC didn't, and that really kind of annoyed me. I guess that annoyed quite a lot of people, but if you're holding from the bottom, like someone like me, then, it's not really an issue. When we move up a bit, we move down a bit, we move down a bit more to move back up eventually. Eventually, we do dig our heels in as a blockchain. We tend to move, and it's like at those points when you're really low, you think all hope's lost, and it really catches a lot of people off guard. And a lot of people always say the same thing. Oh, I wish I loaded up more when we was at the bottom. But this BOME is just killing it at the moment. I think that this is something that is going to get a lot of people, if the market continuation carries on going downwards, you're going to see a lot of people just simply FOMO into whatever's green, whatever's running, and whatever's moving up. So all you can do realistically as an individual in the crypto market currently is just go with the market, go with the flow, try and make gains wherever you can, and try not to get too emotionally tied into things. Don't get too upset. Don't take things as huge losses. Treat them as a big learning experience, a learning curve, so to speak. So let's quickly take a look at the Genuine Labs situation. So Genuine Labs have posted today that they're pleased to announce that the security enhancement for proposals have received the community's approval, and a heartfelt thank you for your support. Our team have started to work on the proposed, and as usual, we will have bi-weekly updates on our work. So we'll keep checking back on that. We'll keep looking in on that, how they're going, how that's sort of panning out. Ultimately, it's a bullish move for us. We need forward development, even if it is bug fixes, different stuff like that. It's still good news. It's forward movement. And hopefully we're going to get to a point where they realize these guys really need utilities, and we should probably figure that out. Hopefully that's going to be the case this time, and we don't sort of end up with people dragging their heels and all of those different kind of things. It's a peculiar situation, but ultimately this is bullish. I'm happy to see this, even though they don't really communicate with me. They don't want to do podcasts. They don't want to do anything like that. I respect it. As long as the work keeps coming forward, the payments keep going out, we will all be happy. As for the Commonwealth, it's pretty quiet. The majority of things that are going on at the moment are just genuine lab stuff, really, and people either wanting to tweak KYC, remove KYC, or vamp up KYC. So I think everybody's thinking a lot inwards at the moment, and not a lot of people are looking outwards at the moment. But the picture outwards is we're in a market that is seizable by anyone, if that makes sense. And we as a blockchain, we can seize the moment. We've still got time, especially in clawbacks like this. It's an opportunity for us to say, hey, well, look at this chain. We burn a lot of coins. We have monthly burns. I mean, it still baffles me that like SHIB has such a substantial community considering how much they don't burn. And then the amount of coins that are upwards of, you're talking trillions, like 400 and something trillion coins. There's a really small amount here on this blockchain, and it's a confusing situation because if you look at the SHIB community, they're a community that feel like they're in control of the blockchain, but the Shibarium effort, everything that panned out to not be, I think a lot of them are starting to think to themselves, well, maybe there's greener grass somewhere else. And I think it's opportunities like this and times like this when we need to stand out from the crowd, so to speak. But hopefully we're going to see more proposals. I'm working on a proposal myself at the moment. It's pretty much written out. I've got a video ready, and it's to more or less bring in a rule, a regulation that's written into the Git repo, even if it has to go in as part of the first section of the Constitution. But I think we need a written rule outright stating that you aren't allowed to double node, and make it so you can't do it as obviously as people are doing it. Because if you outlaw it, for example, yes, you can't force them to shut down their nodes, but it's at that point the external media that report on things will see that we've introduced this new guideline, and then they'll see that there's people that are double noding or network noding, so to speak, and it will put them in a position, right, where they get negative press. They'll have a negative view on them. It won't just be those who are upset, those who are struggling. And shout out to True Aussie Validator, who's shutting down, which is really sad to see. That's all part of this underlying issue. But I think the only thing that I can do after a long bit of reflection and having a think is just propose that we get this guideline in place. And then at least then, if it's in place and they start to get the negative press, right, hopefully it will lead them into a point where they do it all secretly, right? Where they can't just outright use their names to do it. They'd have to rely on a sneaky system where they can't be seen to double node. And I think that's the first step towards getting this situation solved of the consumption of the blockchain. Because in essence, what you have at the moment is like Russian oligarchs, but instead they're LUNC oligarchs, and they're only getting richer, and they're getting more greedy, they're getting more brazen, they're getting more ballsy. So I think I'll get that out this week. The likelihood is I'll drop the Commonwealth, even with all of the amount of flack I'll get, the racism, the attacks, everything like that. I'll just put it on there. Everybody can have their opinion. I've got my opinion, and I'll propose it and allow governance to decide. And hopefully at some point the voting power shifts back into the community's ball court, and you guys can get things like this passed, and then you can get that 0% commission rate removed. You can reintroduce a 5% minimum commission and a max 10% reward rate, that everything cycles back to the Oracle rewards pool, and then we're replenishing that. You're not seeing that depletion. And if you're looking for kind of like an example where this has happened, you would look at Polygon. I mean, it's so centralized now because of all of the issues they've gone through. But we are at a point where the argument would be, oh, well, if you do that and you do get that rule and regulation passed, then it becomes part of the Constitution, so to speak. It's going to lead people to double node, but we're already seeing people double node. So there's like this weird middle ground with a wall in between where it's like, well, we're seeing a Sybil attack this side and we're seeing a Sybil attack that side. So it's a strange one where we won't know if it will work unless we propose it, it passes, and people start abiding by that guideline. So there will be an argument, and there will be people that say, well, what about all nodes? Aren't they a network system? And I would say, no, they're an infrastructure provider. And if, for example, someone like Trozzy Validator wanted to go and rent the infrastructure instead of buying all the machinery, having a business grade internet setup, having all of the different ins and outs you need to run from your own home, you would just go and rent that infrastructure from all nodes. Does that mean all nodes controls your vote? Absolutely not. I got my infrastructure from them for almost a year, and I can assure everybody, as I assured everybody many times before, that wasn't the case, and they don't control the nodes infrastructure that people are renting from them. So I don't see that as an underlying issue. What I see as an issue is, like, if I put it on myself and say, okay, so we've got the HCC node. Let's create a LUNC Dash node. Let's create a LUNC Penguins node. Let's create a Project LUNC Burn node. And then let's create one more extra node as well for the auto compounding. It would be at that point, right? I've got 6 nodes. Terraport would have like 4 nodes. Jesus has got 3 nodes. It would just lead to a point where we're all sat on a mountain pile full of SHIT. So I think this is a solution. I think it's a way to push forward, and I think it's a way to voice our concerns currently. I know there's a lot of people that think that it shouldn't be happening, same as me, but there's some people who think it's okay, spin up a double node, it's not an issue. But like I said, if we all have that attitude, we would just completely consume this blockchain, and there would be nothing left but just a load of rich LUNC oligarchs that just own everything. And eventually the chain would just die because they would deplete the rewards, the price would crash, and it would all just like fall in like a big chain of effects, like dominoes. So I think this is bullish alongside the Genuine Lab stuff. I think it's a way to push forward. So now let's move over to some XRP stuff. And when you just go and look at XRP news, it's always that typical stuff of it like going to $1. But what my theory and thesis is at the moment with XRP is definitely the issue surrounding TFL, Duke One, and all of the other people tied up in it. I think XRP is going to get like a second wind, a third wind, a fifth wind. I don't know how many times they've been, downtrodden at this point, but I think, and if you think about it logically, the SEC have got their boots so jammed on XRP Ripple's necks that when DK comes along and eventually does end up in America, which I'm adamant he's going to, if there's a website I can put a bet down on, someone link me and I'll put the bet down. I'll throw $100 down that he's gonna end up in America, not South Korea. But opinions and whatnot. But I think when he gets to America, the SEC are going to have the biggest axe to grind with him. And this isn't an SBF situation where they had to be careful. Okay, if you look at the SBF situation, you can see that he made a lot of payments to different members of different government sectors and bodies in the American government. So they couldn't really grind the axe with him. DK can be put on the stand. He can be used to back up the idea that Gensler's doing the right thing, that he is the right man for the job, he should remain in the job, and with all Congressman I think it's Congressman Emerson, the guy who was talking about Operation Bottleneck, this would look really bad for him because he's trying to get Gary Gensler removed. It's politics, isn't it? And if you look at it, DK TFL is a political weapon to make themselves look better. So that's kind of my grand theory and thesis. I think XRP is going to start to move up once that all takes place and it ensues the market, so to speak. And it's going to be one of those things that just you can't control. Once again, it's just going to be it's going to be an interesting situation. I'll be interested to see what happens with XRP once TFL, the court cases, really start like pushing forward, so to speak. So like I was saying, with all of the different news, you're seeing a lot of coins moved. So we had an escrow unlock. I think it was over the past couple of days. Someone could quote me wrong on that. I saw an article on it. And it was just basically saying the unlocks happened, the dumps happened, what's next? And I think that was what that pre-pump was, moving back down and bouncing on that trajectory line. Now, a lot of you are thinking, what is the market doing? What is sort of happening? Are we going to continue to go down? Is this a dead cat bounce? All of the ins, outs, the lefts, the rights. So let's move over to the book of meme. Let's do meme stuff first, then we'll move over to the broader market. We'll do some technical analysis for you guys as well. We'll look at the total market cap. We'll go through, we'll look at LUNC, we'll look at XRP, we'll look at what went wrong. We'll go over a lot of different things on a technical side of things. But let's just take a look at some meme coins there, see what's popping, see what's not, realistically what to get involved in if this is a big bounce. So Book of Meme has just dropped. I think it launched yesterday on the 15th. And I think what's setting this aside is the fact that it's hooked a lot of major exchange listings. This isn't a meme coin that just launched with like a Bybit listing. It's got listings absolutely all over the shop, even to the point of spot on Binance, which is really good. So this is what you want to see with a meme coin. Now, like I said, the market could be in a situation where it just keeps coming down a little bit more. It keeps cooking off just a little bit more. And I think smart money is going to say to itself, we should buy into BOEM. And if you look at the market cap, you look at the situation, you do the comparisons, this thing can easily do another 1000x. That's just my opinion. I have aped into this, being a total degen, because I done the degen move of aping $10 into sync, and sync run 1000%. And by the time I'd done my research, come back, looked at my $10 to add more to it, I was like, why is my $10 so much money? I checked the price and was like, Jesus, it ran 1000x. And you just don't know. Like, so many people were saying to me today in my private messages, like, Jay, how come you didn't know about this? And it's like, there is thousands and thousands of meme coins out there. I mean, you can't track them all. So there's a new meme coin sensation in the ecosystem dubbed Book of Meme. So BOME, over the past 24 hours, the meme coin has recorded a jump of 300% and placing its price at 0.0175. BOME has showcased intense grit over the past week as it moved from a low of 0.00858 about 2 days ago to a high of 0.01826 in the early trading hours. So I might be wrong on the timeframes on this because depending on where you're looking at the chart, if you're looking at on TradingView, CoinMarketCap, Gecko Terminal, they all have different starting points. So the chart tracking on CoinMarketCap is from the 15th. And I mean, this thing's cooked right off. Like I said, this is a degen move on my behalf. The money I threw into this, I would waste that probably like going on a holiday, a short stay in England. People know how expensive it is to just go to, I don't know, like a spa or something through the weekend. Everything's so expensive when it comes down to it. So I think to myself, well, you know, petrol, a little short break somewhere, I'll throw that into this. I'm willing to lose it, so to speak. And hopefully this is something that just does another 1000x. I'll be very happy. I'll be very chuffed. So let's go over to the listings. Like I was saying, this isn't something that has just listed with just one or two. This is on Binance, Gate.io, KuCoin, HDX, Bybit. You've got it on, so you've got trading pairs on Binance for BOEM and Try, and then for FDUSD as well. You've got it on BingX, MEXC, Bitget. I got mine on MEXC. I'm sure you can get yours from Tesco, but I'd advise getting them from MEXC, guys. CoinX, Bitmart, there's so many good ones. I probably shouldn't tell you this either, but if you can't use MEXC, you can always use a VPN. You can get yourself a UK mobile number. There's nothing against doing that, so to speak. So, you know, take that with a pinch of salt and do what you will with it. I'm not an advisor or anything. I'm just sort of what I would do if I couldn't use an exchange in my country. Now, anyway, moving forward. So you've got it on LBank. You've got it on so many different CEXs. So I think this thing's going to be hot. I think it's going to be really hot. And I think a lot of people, they don't know how easy it is to get at the moment. Like, you can just go and grab this thing. Like normally, so I bought into VSG, which might I add, guys, VSG is like the only thing that's not getting damaged by this bleed out effect, because it is a bleed out effect. As much as the thumbnails clickbaity, and yes, I do a few clickbaity things here and there, guys, it's the algorithm. Okay, it's YouTube. I've got a job to do, and I need to make sure like I'm trying my best to inform you guys, and you guys get the videos, etc., etc., etc. But I think this is going to be hot. I think this is going to be hot, whether it takes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 34 days. I mean, I've got all the time in the world for this one. So for me, it's something I've got involved in. It was a degen move. Probably shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. Guys, don't forget to throw a like down. 17 likes, 33 concurrent viewers. Get those likes in. So, Book of Meme, it's got potential. It's risky. Do what you will with it. Entering the market at this point in time is just risky. We're cooking off. Anything could happen. Everything's theory and thesis at this point. So, trade safe, guys. Always trade safe. Don't FOMO in. Wait for pullbacks. It's an important part of trading, I think. If anybody's here has read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, you should be really good at crypto trading and having patience and strategizing. If you haven't read that book, I would recommend reading it. Even get an audio book of it if you don't like reading books and you'd rather listen to them. Go and do that. It's such a great perspective on things a long time ago. But anyway, let's move forward. Let's take a look at other meme coins in the sector. So what I'm going to do is go over to we'll go over to TradingView because I've got a lot of different meme coins in here at the moment. So you've got your Floki, you've got your Pepe, you've got your Whiff, you've got Bonk, you've got those ones that have really done big moves, huge moves. They've got very substantial market caps now. They've got big communities. They are at a point where you're looking at long-term gains, more strategized plays. Now, this is Gorilla. I've been trading Gorilla for probably the past, I don't know, like 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. Some of the boys in the Patreon as well, they've been able to get in on this. And this is a meme coin that makes wild swings. I don't have the indicators up, but what I'm doing is using the indicators to trade this. And what I mean about wild swings is like 119%. Like getting an indication down here, getting an indication up here to get in, then get out. It's absolutely amazing that there's meme coins out there that exist like this. And what this tends to do is bleed a little bit with the market, and then it tends to move and lead the pack, kind of how Solana's doing it at the moment. So Gorilla is definitely another one to watch. When is definitely another one to watch. It makes very good moves, very strong movements. If you get in on these lows and get out on these highs, you're looking at 145%. These were part of a package that I put out in alpha calls for different people in the Patreon. This led to decent gains. We all made a nice bit of wedge out of this. So once again, when is a good low market meme coin? That is something you should probably be interested in this market. It's a strong mover. And what I mean by strong mover is they've got good percentages in between, because if this is a percentage we're measuring on LUNC, that's likely going to be like 10%. It's just what happens when things get much bigger and much further along the lines. The gains get smaller, the span gets shorter. But anyway, like I was saying, meme coins, let's move forward. So I've got a few more here. One of them, and as much as a lot of people probably think this is cooked off, Ponky is, for me, they're doing all of the right things. I don't ever retweet anything to do with meme coins, but they always catch me off guard with the sort of degen monkey art that they're doing. It's a situation that I really like. They did Phil Collins with the gorilla doing the drums, but instead it was all Ponky. It's been making good moves. I think it's going to continue to make good moves. It's under 100 mil market cap still. I think it's under 70 mil market cap, maybe back down to 60 mil market cap. This is something I'm dollar cost averaging into as a short-term meme coin trade. And like I've been saying to people, do not go out and risk 100% of your portfolio on meme coins. If you want my advice of what I did, I put $500 in an MEXC wallet and I worked with just that. And I've never added anything to it and I've never taken anything out of it. And what I'm doing is at the end of the bull run, at the end of the halving, at the end of everything, I'm going to show everybody what you can do with $500 with meme coins. And I think the last time I did an update, which was like ages ago, it was like $3,800. It's so easy to do with meme coins. So Ponky, strong mover, keep an eye on it, because I know a lot of people, they like their Flokis, they like their Pepes, they like their Whiffs, they like their Samos, they like their Myros, but these have all made big moves. They've already got way, way, way up there. Although there is still good gains to make, like I was saying, it's one of those situations where you've got to strategize very well with these, and you've got to ensure that you catch the market with the trend, so to speak, with the BTC dominance, because that's what we're seeing right now. BTC dominates the market. Its market cap is a total percent of the total market cap, and that has an overall effect on different things. So we're 30 minutes into this, guys. That's been meme coins. Let's move over to some blue chip stuff. Let's move over to the total market cap. Let's move over to BTC. Let's move over to Ethereum, Sol, XRP, and LUNC. So what I'm going to do here first is start with the total market cap. If you're not using the total market cap ticker, I would recommend using it. I'd recommend getting set up on TradingView with a free account, set your watch list up, and go through and add all of the different coins that you want to look at. Instead of having 1,000 tabs open, you just simply have your TradingView window open and you can just click between them all. So I've been saying that if if this is a cup and handle, right, guys, this would be the biggest cup and handle in history to play out, so to speak. And I did a video and I said we're topping out, and that's my own opinion. I'm going to stick by it. I do think we are topping out. We're in a zone where the likelihood is we're going to get a big stonker of a god candle. I've been through a few markets now to know that when I'm going to the shop, right, and I can hear people in the shops going, "God, have you heard about that Bitcoin? Oh, have you heard about SHIB? Or have you heard about this?" That's when I know it's like, yeah, well, we're way overcooked, guys. Yeah, I can hear grannies in the supermarket talking about this stuff. I'm on site and like people are like, "Oh, have you heard about that Bitcoin?" I'm like, "No, I never heard of it. Don't know what it is." But the total market cap, right, guys, it's in my opinion, if we look historically, and I've got this on the day view, there's always a gap, I would say, between these big moves. You always see a big move coming up, a little cool off, and I think we're going to cool off to about a 2 trillion market cap, but I think we're going to come up, like I said, for a god candle, maybe punch 3 trillion around this zone here. So what you're currently seeing is we're bouncing on a support line. And what I mean by support line, let's grab a horizontal ray or a horizontal line, either or. And you can see clearly here, we have got a zone that we're bouncing on. So what I would say is over the course, what you should be realistically watching with the total market cap over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours, it's the weekend. Weekends are slow. It's probably going to pick up Monday when the Asia markets kick back off. That's what my theory and thesis is at the moment. We're bouncing here, here, and here. So you can see we've got an area of kind of okay support, and some would say this is a line of resistance. But what this is called is a resistance flip. I was researching this recently. I watched somebody else who was covering something similar to this, and it's where a line of resistance gets flipped and it gets turned into a line of support. You get it down and then you get an uptrend, you break through, and like I said, it's called a flip. So you get this flip where this line, which would normally be this line of resistance, suddenly becomes a line of support. So for all I know, okay, guys, because this is all theory and thesis, we've never been up this high ever. BTC's punched way above an all-time high. Obviously the total market cap hasn't, but it's a very interesting situation if you think about it, because it's theory, it's thesis. Anything can happen up here. Anything can happen up here. Anything. I think what has changed the market, and I was trying to find the article that I read about this, is Vanguard. And Vanguard are kind of saying, you know, well, when BTC's not a store of value and it's not a long-term investment. It's like, all right, guys, calm down, stop crying. Just because BlackRock got there first, these guys are throwing their toys out. They're probably, "Oh, BTC's crap." These guys just want to see a market dump. The aim of the game overall, if you look at the governments, you look at the control system of everything, you would say to yourself, the aim of the game is to just own as much of the Bitcoin supply as possible. And that's the only way you can stem, stop, and control this thing. If you want to try put like a bottleneck on this thing, that's how you're going to do it. It's other than that, or you just make all banks not deal with any crypto exchanges. And that's what they were doing in Operation Choke Point back in, I mean, like 2006. You know, check my video out I did on that. It's like a Netflix style small documentary thing that I do, kind of like the LUNC Got Weird series. But I think that's what's happening at the moment, because there's been a lot of chatter from Vanguard, kind of, like I said, throwing their toys out of the pram and all of these things. So if this is a dip, this would be a good dip to get involved in. But me, like I said in my previous video, and like I've said to my Patreon group, is that I prepared for this like a week and a half ago. I'm not silly. I'm not going to get my pants caught down. This kind of market is called a wrecking market. Okay, this is when it's so dangerous to enter the market and start getting involved with things. Okay, guys, so let's move over to some BTC, and BTC is going to look relatively the same, I would say, as the total market cap. Obviously, it's not the same. It's totally different. So let's zoom in. Because what I want to do is show you the current trend line. So what I think needs to happen here for a bounce is the likelihood is we're going to come down as low as this trend line. So that would bring you around to the 60K range. That could be like the worst case scenario before we do a dip. I think it's like the dip before we rip. I could be wrong. We could keep going down. Like I said, I dropped that video. The market started going downwards as much as people get upset with that. It's just the reality of things. So BTC, I think, it needs to keep following this trend line upwards. Don't drop below it. And we might just see 80K. There's people talking about 80K. Believes crypto called 72K. We hit 72K. I'd like to see what Believes is going to make for his next prediction, seeing as he's been so on point to begin with. But this is what I've been saying to everybody. And if you missed my video going over BTC recently, if you look at the halving events, this is out of character. Originally, it's out of character. The second time round, we do see a bit of a pump before the third halving event. But if you look at this, this is June 19th, and then the halving event is May 20. May 2000. Yeah, is that 2020? I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, it's 2020. I've got the writing right in front of me. There's like 6 screens and there's like loads of things going off. The market's bleeding. God damn, Grandma. So historically, this is not normal, if that makes sense. So if we zoom in and we really go in and we look before the halving event, you can see that there's kind of a run here, but then there's a huge dip, like a huge dip. Like that's not a small dip. That's massive. It's a massive dip. The halving event hits, and then from that point onwards, it is only upwards. Looking on the day scale, looking at the day frame kind of things, it's only upwards. And this is what worries me so much, because if I'm going to the shops and I can hear an old babushka going, "Have you heard about the crypto?" And it's even my son was like, "Dad, have you heard about crypto?" I'm like, "Mate, just stop, all right? Go back to Call of Duty. Just stop. Get enough of this at work, thanks." But it's out of character. Right. And what I don't want is you guys to be in a situation where a majority of YouTubers, and I love a lot of YouTubers, I've grown to love a lot of these different YouTubers, regardless. I understand how it works. I understand it's a business, algorithms and stuff like that. I get it. But, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is just a small pullback and you should think about dollar cost averaging in your main positions now. And I just think, no, that's ruthless. That's just ruthless. I think that's all guns blazing. I think you're running headfirst into this thing, and I think it's silly. I think we're due a big pullback. It's going to be buy the rumor, sell the news. I really think so. I think as we roll in, so let's quickly move over to the Bitcoin halving countdown. You've got 36 days still until the actual event happens. Okay, so we are in a zone which is just crazy. So the best thing to happen right now, and this is a thesis that I heard from another YouTuber I watch who's got like tens of thousands of subscribers. He thinks that we're going to have a very small dip. We're going to track sideways a little bit around the 55 to 60K range. And then he thinks we're going to absolutely rip from the halving event onwards. But I think we're due a decent dip. Like the market's so overextended. We're not euphoric. Like we're not at a stage of euphoria yet, I would say. But at the same time, that's me saying to you, the fear in Ingredex hasn't reached euphoric. But at the same time, babushkas in the shops are speaking about it. Like, that's euphoria for me. That is euphoria. Um, so yeah, if you are dollar cost averaging in, guys, I would go light. I would go light. BTC is currently, let's move back over to the BTC chart. Let's go on to the day view. Now we've looked at like kind of the overall trajectory of things. Let's go on to the hourly view. Let's look at what's going on. So consistently you've had a pretty strong uptrend on a day view, right? And we're reaching this point, and like I was kind of saying, we're topping out. I think we're topping out here. I think we're going to come down a little bit, bounce off his trajectory line, and then we're going to come up and cook off for something big, something maybe like 80k, something like that, and then come down for a big dip to scare everybody, shake out all of the paper-handed people. And as much as people, I was saying 35k, that's kind of a bit brutal and a bit too pessimistic, let's say. Would pessimistic be the right word? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to use it anyway. Oh, well, get over it. Tell your grandmas. But I think maybe between the 35k to maybe the 48k range, I think this is what we're looking at with BTC. Okay, guys, so let's move over now to LUNC and XRP, because what I want to do is show you on XRP what I was tracking. So I haven't got the indicators up. I'm going to explain this to you exactly how I was seeing it. So over the course from around February 24th up until this point, we've seen bounces on this trajectory line. And it's the same trajectory line as LUNC's head and shoulders pattern. And we kept bouncing. We kept bouncing. And what I saw was on this inverse cup and handle here that you can see, we had a strong bounce, a really strong bounce on XRP. And we shot up. And I know a lot of you sit there and go, well, you know, Jay, 27% is not much. But one of my friends who's an XRP investor and a 100% crypto head, doesn't do anything but crypto trade, has tens of thousands of pounds invested in XRP. So that 27% for him is huge. That's huge, like huge. So these on blue chip assets are decent breakouts. You would call that a decent explosive breakout, even though it's coming down now, it's cooking off, right? But we're possibly bouncing on that trajectory line again. So now what I want to do is move over to LUNC and kind of explain to you guys where that happened with LUNC, where we should have had the bounce off that trajectory line, but we didn't. We had a continuation downwards. And as much as it sucks, as much as I kind of got one thing wrong and another thing right, I'm always going to come forward and come clean to you guys and say, look, you know, I'm a human at the end of the day, and it didn't bounce like it should have bounced, but I'm a long-term holder. I've been holding this thing way back before even the chart changed. I mean, I can track my coin's history on the Lunar chart that has the historical basis chart there for you to go over. So I've been invested in this a long time, and my bag's in stake, and it's going to be there until the indefinite future, because I can't bear getting rid of my position. I feel like I'm giving up, and I'll never do that. I'll never put myself in a position where I don't have a decent LUNC bag, where I have a reason to be involved. I know so many people that involve themselves in this coin but don't even hold any of it. Like, they don't even support it. I watch their validators sell the coins out all of the time. It's an interesting situation. So what I think is going on here, I said this in my previous live, is another inverse cup and handle playing out here. And we've seen a slight bounce there. And then hopefully we're going to see a bounce here with BTC and get above this trajectory line, because we keep swinging above it, below it, 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 above it, below it. And you get what I'm saying? We're not just going simply just all the way up and then all the way down. If anything, we're going through a situation where it's doing things right. It's not overcooking itself. And what people need to understand is LUNC is not in the league of meme coins. As much as people call it a meme coin, it doesn't move like a meme coin. So don't buy into LUNC at the top and think to yourself, you're going to get a 10,000x gain from it, because you're not. Okay, the most this thing's going to push is maybe 800% during the bull run. And that is based on the market cap, the amount of coins that are available, the ready supply, what's in stake, and you can do the maths. You can figure out how much maximum value realistically could be put into LUNC. And that's just me being a realist. But like I was saying, what I think for LUNC is we get a bounce and we move back up above this trajectory line. and we keep moving on this because XRP is bouncing on the exact same thing. If we get a comparison going on here, so if we grab a compare symbol of XRP, for example, we bring that in, you can see how similar they're moving on each other, right? Very similar. So if I go back to XRP again, you can see that same trajectory line playing out. And you can see those bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think XRP in itself can get back up to around the dollar range. I don't think it will stay there for long. I think it will come back down, cook off to about 80 cents. And I think the TFL situation will kick into play. And I think that will be XRP's saving grace from start to finish. So let's move over to Ethereum. Let me get rid of this compare symbol. And Ethereum in itself, it's doing good. It's a situation what I always find, and it's kind of like BNB. BTC moves, it kind of cools off a little bit, and Ethereum either trails a little bit behind it or a little bit in front of it, mostly behind it. Now, BNB is like an anti-BTC crypto. It hates BTC so much, it spites it and moves upwards a lot of the time when BTC moves downwards. The funny thing is if you invested in BNB before the start of this run, and you have invested $1,000 in BNB and $1,000 in XRP, you would have more from your BNB investment than you would from your XRP investment. So when it comes down to these leading blue chip assets, you should really watch these, because if Ethereum's pumping, well, you guessed it, Ethereum coins are going to start to move upwards. If Sol's moving upwards, Sol meme coins start moving upwards, vice versa, so on, so forth. The Ethereum sector, as much as people hate gas, there will be a solution for it eventually, and it's great technology. It's huge. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, and there's a lot of gains to be made there as well. And that's what we're here for, right? As much as we love meme coins, we love looking at dogs, we love this, we love burns, we love this, that, and the other. We all love money. Okay, like Simon's saying, if LUNC does it 800x, I'm quitting my job. You know, and that's what you're all here for. Right? Let's not lie. Let's not all act like, you know, we're here to sing Kumbaya a lot of the time. We're not. We're all here to make financial gains. Right? It's what we all want, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be investing our money in crypto like total degens. We're all looking for the out. All of us. Each one of you is looking for an out, the same as me. I don't want to work my full-time job. I want to do this full time, all the time. I want to speak to you guys every day in a live stream every day where it's there every day and you guys show up, you know, and I'm there every day. I would love to do that and just trade coins, but we've got to get there first. We've got to get there first. So guys, 45 minutes left. Can you guys chuck a few more likes down? You know, 41 concurrent viewers, 24 likes, chuck those likes down. So what I'm going to do now is go over to some news, and by news, what I'm going to do is just simply, we'll just go through. Okay, we'll look at what's been going on over the past 24 hours. If anybody sees anything interesting as I'm going through, let me know. And then after this, we'll do 5 minutes of this, and then I'll open it up for Q&A for you guys. And you can ask me questions. I'll go back through the chat history as well, and I'll look at all of the different questions you may have asked. So rising US debt to become the catalyst for surge in crypto markets. This is very true. The US debt is only rising. Do you know what the scariest thing? US debt ticker. Yeah, this real-time clock. Here we go. Yeah, that is how quick the national debt in America is like rising all of the time. Just like, oh my God. But I think this is crypto saving grace. I think it's a situation where it's going to be a huge crash. Kind of like what happened with the banking crash not too long ago. And people are going to realize that as much as they sit there, and the first thing you say to anybody when you say, oh, I made some money in crypto, they go, yeah, but it's not real money, is it? And you laugh, don't you? Because you say to yourself, well, hang on a minute, your money's not real money. In my country, on the notes, it actually says, you promise to pay the bearer the summons of a demand of £20. It's a debt. It's a bank note. Okay, it's a bank note. In the banking crisis in the UK here, I have a couple of friends that were hit pretty bad with it. We had the Northern Rock situation a long time ago in Scotland as well. That was really bad. People are going to start to realise that, there's a big issue with storing your value in a bank where you don't get anything for it. Like the banks take your money and they invest it in all kinds of different stuff, right? But you don't get anything from that. Whereas there's so many different routes, avenues, methods that you could do. The amount of people that say BTC isn't a store of value, but surely it is. If you was to have tried to store your value in it back in 2002, geez, you're like one of the richest people on the planet right now, right? So I don't really get that. I think BTC is going to outdo gold, and I think BTC will be the new gold. As much as people don't think that, gold in itself is a very peculiar situation. Idris Elba did a very good documentary on gold. I watch a lot of documentaries. I don't know about you guys. I was just listening to a podcast with a few physicists. But anyway, I'm side tandem in here. Let's move forward. So will XRP lose the 0.6 cent support amid market correction? I don't think it will. I think it's going to bounce on that trajectory line. You can see these guys are talking about it here using the fib as well. I don't like the retracement tool. I don't think they're reliable. I think if they were that reliable, it would just be as simple as just using that all of the time and everything would be easy peasy. I shouldn't say that. It would just be easy peasy. But I think it's going to bounce. I think the market's going to bounce. I think we're going to get a stonker of a god candle before we come down and cook off. So top 3 altcoins to buy for investors turn $10 into $1,000. I mean, just chuck $10 into sync, forget about it, and come back in like 2 weeks, and you've probably hey, here we go, guys. Look, Terra Classic is currently witnessing a notable resurgence within the bullish trend of the cryptocurrency market, signaling a potential turnaround after facing numerous challenges. Numerous challenges, an understatement, Pete. Over the last month, LUNC has surged by over 11%, underscoring its robustness and the possibility for substantial growth amidst the market's inherent volatility. So LUNC, according to these guys, chuck $10 in and that could turn into $1,000. So think about it. If you put $1,000 down, what's that going to be? If you put $10,000 down, what's that going to be? You kind of get the concept. So the next one on the list is Shiba Inu coin. I myself, I love SHIB. I love the SHIB community. They are very enthusiastic. They're very polite. They're very nice. They're very welcoming. But I think they have been led astray. It's not my place to say. I should look at my own paper, so to speak, in the exam hall. But I think developers have led them very badly astray, and they're also bound to SHIB. Like, I'm bound to LUNC, and I refuse to sell my bag. I refuse to give up. I refuse to back down. And that's exactly the same as the SHIB community. And that's the likelihood as why they're all there, because they believe in it so strongly. They'll support it no matter what. Same with the XRP community. So SHIB, XRP's on there as well. I think these are 3 pretty good coins. If you look at the altcoin market, altcoin season's coming. And this is why I'm saying to everybody, we're going to get to a point where it digs its heels in. All right, it digs its heels in, it does a Spartan, and it just goes, do you know what? I'm not going to go down anymore. I'm going to go up. Like, when Forrest Gump's like, I think I'll stop running now. I think that's going to be us. But instead we'll be Terra Classic Gump in that situation. So there you go. 3 coins. That's kind of cheered me up to see LUNC in there, to be quite honest. Because like I was saying with that trajectory line, let's go back to LUNC quickly. That trajectory line's there. And we're swinging in and out of it. And this is even better because the trajectory line's not something I just placed in there and made up, so to speak. It's set off of the head and shoulders and doji. So you've got that first initial head and shoulders pattern. You've got that dragonfly doji we'll report on, and then a 3-stage flag. Okay? That in itself sets your trajectory line. And then from that point onwards, you know that you should be following along that trajectory line, so to speak, whether you're swinging above it or swinging below it. There you go. Just deleted it. Yeah, good one. But yeah, I think we're due a decent pump. And my target's still there, guys. 30,000 points per coin. And I think a higher target, if you're being generous and you're really getting a bit moony, so to speak, I would say 40,000 points per coin is not a bad range. So you've got 107% to my target, which is definitely achievable. And into that second target would give you an extra around 75%. So there's a decent movement there, I think, ahead there. A really sad thing I saw was like someone, they DM me and they were like really upset. And they were like, I just bought the top and stuff. I was like, why are you buying the top? Like if you're like, you should have got involved in this like a long time ago. And this is what is a scary thing, because there's no clean line between being bullish and bearish. And I'm not a psychic. Things go down before they go upwards. And, we see this many times, and it's how the market shakes you out. A lot of the times people get shook out on things like this. You get that really scary dip. You've got a really nice formation going on. You've got this stretching on, and you've got that massive dip that comes in. What meme coins do I have? Richie, I'll be doing a Q&A very shortly. Let me just finish up here. But yeah, trajectory line, LUNC's looking good. I'm positive. I'm bullish. I think this pullback's good. It's needed. It's necessary. And I think it's going to be healthy for the market. And I think it's a pretty great way to stay in shape, as Family Guy would say. So let me bring you now over to the news again. Just do one more check. Yeah, El Salvador's just going crazy buying Bitcoin, guys. And they've been, Bitcoin maxi since the beginning. They're like the original maxi country, which is interesting. The missing link in a decentralized internet is confidentiality. Oh my God, I could not say it any better. Just because it's decentralized doesn't mean that our privacy should be invaded. Right? And that's what I like about articles like this. This is a good article. I'm going to share this in the Patreon, guys. Keep an eye out for that one. And don't forget, guys, as well, the giveaway is in the Patreon now. What you would do to get involved, the giveaway far out exceeds that. And the Patreon group's still low at the moment. But yeah, interesting stuff. So what I'm going to do now, let me get rid of all of this on the screen. And no, I'm going to need to keep that up, actually, guys. Let's go to Crypto Bubbles. Okay, guys, so let's do a Q&A. Start getting your questions in. Start getting anything you want me to go over in the final part of this video. I'll go over coins. I'll go over meme coin. I'll go over anything you want. Just ask me questions and I'll be there. So shout out to Simon D for that $10 donation. I really, really appreciate that. So I haven't shouted a HCC, a coffee in a while. Who's getting the donuts? I appreciate that. That's more than enough to get a coffee and donut at my local coffee shop, and they make handmade donuts and everything. Very, very nice. Very nice. Just gonna sip my drink quickly, guys. 2 seconds. I got some Myro the other day. I already regret it. And guys, if you've invested in positions, don't concede. Don't just say to yourself, oh, it's gone down a little bit. I'll sell this and buy in lower. If you can afford it and you're not frivolous with your portfolio, I would wait until you see a clear indication of a bottom, i.e. bouncing on that trend line strongly and getting a strong confirmation above it. Maybe using the MACD indicator alongside it. Just dollar cost average into that position. Even if, say, for example, you've invested $100 and it goes down 50% and your $100 is now $50. Just chuck $5 in. Just chuck small amounts in. Very small amounts. Don't get greedy. Okay, take the small wins. A lot of people, they look so strongly into catching BOEM or catching bonk or catching ponky or pepper, catching the next meme coin, that they miss so much in between. Like, you miss so much in between all of that. There's so many pumps and percentages to get in between that. Even on a downtrend, you can still make good money, especially with a coin like Gorilla, like I was showing you guys when we went over the meme coin stuff. It's a situation where, as Arnie says, there's always a pump out there, right? There's always a pump out there. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to go from the top and I'm just going to go through the comments. I still fill in my bags with LUNC. Yeah, every dip, guys, I am never hesitant on adding to my LUNC bag and then sending it over to my Trust Wallet account where I stake it and everything. Because a lot of people think you can't stake on Trust Wallet, but guess what? You can, and you can keep your LUNC on there as well when it's totally 100% safe if you don't like keeping your stuff in a station wallet, which in my opinion is safe as heck. It's just as safe as Trust Wallet because you own the wallet, you own the monomics, your seed, your phrases. No one can access it unless you give those out. So yeah, I'm always adding to my LUNC bag, guys, always. So shout out to Graham Harbord for that one. I'm into LUNC since 2022 and now buying STX. I don't know what STX is. I would definitely have to have a look at that one, Graham. Sorry, not Graham. That was Leonardo. Jay, what do you think Binance is going to do with LUNC? My grand thesis is they're going to do a Vitalik on us. It's hopeful. It's maybe hopium. I'm maybe smoking hopium thinking that. But if I said, well, I did say, didn't I? I can't really say that because I did say Binance were burning at the beginning. I told everybody they were burning, and some of you believed me, some of you didn't. But everything I saw back then using money flow, everything I'm seeing now on money flow only points to them leading up to some kind of big substantial burn. Right? And they don't want us to know they're accumulating a great deal. So I just think they're going to perform some kind of huge substantial LUNC burn. You could say USTC as well, because they do hold a considerable amount of USTC. That's not a joke. They hold a considerable amount of USTC. Let's go to the top holders. And then we'll go to the top holders for USTC. I think they're the top holder for LUNC and USTC. Yeah. Considerable amount, guys. Considerable amount of coins to just have. Why would you keep accumulating? Why would you do it? And the argument of, oh, they're not Binance's coins, they're users' coins. I'm sorry, guys, they're not your coins. I'm sorry if you think that, but you're wrong. You're so badly wrong. I have watched your guys' coins move completely from the hot wallet to a spare wallet, and then back to the hot wallet, all to avoid burn taxes, right? If they can move your coins, if they can move, and at the time it was 4 trillion coins they moved. Me and Strafe both watched it happen. We watched it happen on our screens live, and we were both like, what is going on? What are they doing? And it was to avoid a burn tax. Now, why keep accumulating? Why keep burning every month? Why? Why would you do it? Would you do it? If you were CZ Binance, would you do it? Now, if you were CZ Binance and you knew that every single player in the crypto space, whether it was SBF, whether it was Justin Sun, whether it was Do Kwon, Daniel Shin, and now CZ, none of these guys exist really in crypto as CEOs of companies or, political figureheads because the government removed them, right? And if I was CZ, I was going through all these court cases and I was having my passports removed all of the time, I'm going to have a hell of a lot of negative press. I'm going to need something, a backwind, if you will. I just think there's something bigger to all of this. As much as everybody's like, not really a believer in it and thinks it's tinfoil hat stuff, money doesn't lie. If there's one thing I've learned in this life is that money does not lie. The money tells the truth. It can't lie. It has no ability to lie. So very interesting. I'll get on a side tangent with Binance. Stop it, Jay. Got into BOEM early this morning, been into LUNC. Oh my goodness. Graham, you must, tell us how much you invested. That's amazing. So I've got various positions in LUNC. I only have one position and it's all on Trust Wallet. But if you look at my projects, guys, they're all locked up with LUNC. They have very strong value. So anything that I've dibble-dabbled with and brought into my sector or brought from my sector has liquidity backing, right? It has the squalor, let's say. It has the squalor to back up the project. So I think that's good. I think we need more projects like that are willing to go the long run and lock up a lot of LUNC, because on VSG, which I'm going to be validating soon, the minimum amount of self-stake you have to make is amazing. And I think that should be the same on LUNC. I think all validators should have to self-stake like 100 million LUNC. And I think it should stay there in their validators. And this is a way that validators are supposed to convince you through self-stake. Normally, what a validator would do to prove themselves to you is go, well, I'm going to self-stake 200 mil LUNC, and the node will never drop below this much voting power. regardless of you guys going, coming, or leaving. That's the idea. So I think things like that are a good way to foster in an environment that's competitive. And as much as people don't want to see a competitive environment, sorry, but I do. I really do. I want to see people struggle. I want to see people have to prove to you guys that they're building stuff. They're producing a LUNC Dash, or they're producing, an auto compounding system, or all of the different things, a LUNC burn portal, a YouTube channel that burns, whatever it takes, do it. But you shouldn't be able to come to this chain, slap a 0% commission rate on, get voting power, get access to an auto compounding system, and it leaves you in a position where you don't need to do anything. So why would you do anything? Why not just sit there, gain a bit of voting power, and keep fluctuating? It's as easy as pie. It's, a couple $100 more than you were getting before you were doing it. So you're not really losing anything, are you? So there you go. Hit the like button as if it just stole your LUNC. I like that. Tip my hat at you, sir. Richie Hall, hi Jay. Sorry I missed the last live bit here now. I appreciate you guys showing up. I know it's Saturday. What I'm starting to realize is crypto never sleeps. If I want to go live, I should just go live. It's a good way for me to communicate with you guys. It's so hard to pack everything down into an 8-minute video. And people are like, oh, well, I don't understand this, or you're saying this, but you mean another thing. And it's so hard to pack everything down into an 8-minute video. I'm finding that live streaming is a good way for me to communicate with my viewers who are always there. You guys are clearly always showing up. You're here for the live stream. You watch the content, you comment, you like, you engage. I'm doing these for people like you. And they're great. I like these. It relaxes me. It gives me an opportunity to just, vent and speak about things. It's nice. It's nice to just chat. And I'm sorry about my last live stream. I finished that live stream. I was like, oh my God, I'm so negative. I need to stop. And I did. I reflected. I thought to myself, we should stop moaning and we should just do something. And I'm going to do something by proposing that proposal on Monday. So USTC was retracing harder than everyone else after becoming one of the worst performing coins. Zero trust left towards whoever is involved in this chain. So Spawn, I love you. I love you a lot right now because you've raised a very strong point. So let's go over to the chart system. Let's go over to the boring section of the chart system. I literally have USTC labeled as boring. What's happening is exit liquidity. I've got more time than an hour to go over this. So exit liquidity. Okay, you have got WeMint Cash offering you, the community, the LUNC, the opportunity to burn your USTC coins. Well, you guys think that's bullish because you're burning your USTC coins. But what you don't realize is you're just burning the liquidity that's on this chain. And by doing that, you're also building another community, another 2 coins that are designed to kill this blockchain and kill USTC. So you've been rinsed for $40,000 for a fake repeg that you never got. And now USTC is being rinsed by a third party that's using it in a siphon attack, so to speak, because you burn your coins and you're going to get airdropped, coins in return. So as all this liquidity leaves our blockchain, leaves our ecosystem and becomes burned, what you guys mostly think, not all of you, just some of you, think is that, okay, so if I've got 4 apples and each apple was worth £2.50 each, right? And then I take one of those apples and I eat them. Does that mean the rest of those apples are together at £2.50 each, now worth 3 apples, £10? No, of course not. You've just eaten an apple. So you've got £7.50 left in apples, right? And it's the same with crypto. Just because you burned the coins doesn't make the remainder of the coins gain the liquidity. You're literally burning the liquidity. I can see the view counts dropping. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. But that's why USTC is bleeding the hardest, and it will continue to bleed. It will get to a point where it just goes, all the way down, which is an issue. But hopefully it doesn't get to that point. Hopefully their plan fails in the sense that not enough people burn enough coins. So it just won't work. And I think that is going to be the grand case, the grand scheme of things. Just at least those coins have actually burned and they're not being cycled, so to speak, into another like funny wallet. Kind of like what we saw with DF LUNC at the beginning, where it was getting sent to a contract and then from the contract to the burn wallet. So you couldn't track the burns. So you could only track like half the burns. Well, I'm glad I joined when I did, lol. If only we had a crystal ball. I always think of Robin Hood. If you were born in the 90s and you were raised on Disney like movies, I always think of Robin Hood when he's got the mystical ball with King John. Is it King John? Yes, King John, isn't it? Yeah, that's the bad one of it. I always think about him, you know, ooh, dalali, ooh, dalali. Yeah, I wish I had a crystal ball. It'd be great. I mean, the algorithm really helps. It really helps. As much as the people that don't want to dive into it, they think it's kind of like snake oil. It's not. And that's how I'm able to make all of these non-emotional kind of based decisions to either dive in or dive out, so to speak. So let's keep moving down. Good to see you too. What's up, everyone? How are you keeping, Nesforce? Yeah, Nesforce, man. I haven't seen you around for a while. It's good to see you, dude. Main thing is crypto at this point is now buy, or is this the last dips? Yeah, and this is the decision you're going to have to make for yourselves, guys. Is, are we going to bounce on that trend line, or are we going to dip below it and a continuation going down? That is the grand question. 250k by 2025. I think 250,000 during this run per coin. People might think that's silly, but that's what I think. 250,000 a coin by the end of the half in bull run. Buy on red, sell on green is the name for this game. Yes, exactly. A lot of people do buy on green, sell on red, and they repeat the process over and over and over again, and eventually you just deplete your portfolio down to absolutely nothing. There's a story for one of the Carnegies selling right before the stock market crash. Oh yeah, I've read about that. Shoe shiners and barbers are a great source of info. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. LUNC is going to be a real long hold. Yeah, same for me, Richie. Really, really long hold. Okay, staking on my Luna C with HCC and leaving it there for a long time. Hope to retire it. And I mean, guys, right? Do you know any validators on this blockchain that when their voting power got to like 7-8%, that they said to themselves, well, we better introduce a system to reduce my own voting power? Like, who does that? Who does that? Because you try to reintroduce the minimum 5% commission, and you know these big LUNC oligarch validators are like, hell no, we're not taking a paycheck. Hell no, I'm not reducing my VP. I'll keep doing what I want. That's just a general situation with that at the moment. Are the Cricket devs planning on reforking LUNC to Luna? Don't know, Daniel. I'm not in contact with them. They don't speak to me. They don't engage with me. So I'm kind of back in the Terra Rebel boat when I spoke out against Terra Rebel and said that it was all going to implode. And then everyone was like, no, you know, HCC, you're the bad guy and you're the issue and stuff. And, you know, it turned out it did implode. I feel like I'm back in that situation where I'm saying stuff that I should keep quiet and keep stush about. So they're not going to engage with me. They're not going to give me an opportunity to speak with them and stuff. Kind of like news reporters, right? You think to yourself, why doesn't mass media ask the hard questions? And that's because they would never get invited back to the next news press hearing thing. So they got to play by the rules. Time to build. Okay, no sound. Turn up the volume. Stop it. What meme coins do you have? Okay, sorry, what happened to the sound? Oh, is the sound gone? No, you guys are messing with me. Stop it. Do you think LUNC can hit 1 cent this bull run? No, LUNC will not hit 1 cent this bull run. I think the YouTubers that were doing, so what they do is they do an Excel spreadsheet because it's the best way to sell you guys the idea of how a coin's going to make it to 001 and what you need to invest at this stage. And normally it's on their Patreon for you guys to buy, but I don't believe in that. LUNC cannot reach 1 cent at the volume of coins, the current. There's not enough going on. We need meme coins. We need meme coins. We as a blockchain need meme coins. We need a token factory. We need swapping pairs on chain. We need our own DEX on chain, and we need all of the liquidity going through the chain and not going through third-party systems, third-party apps where the swapping pairs are between, for example, you know, on MEXC. USDT benefits the most on MEXC because that's what the majority of the swapping pairs are made up from, right? Right, exactly. So, you know, you just apply that same kind of theory to other stuff. On SoFi, since last week, Cathie Woods and many funds bought much higher and going to start recover with insiders also bought. Did they buy on exchanges or OTC? They might have paid a different price if it's OTC. Jay, what hour are you using for trading with HG Algo? Okay, I'll give you a quick, small overview of what I do. So I mix between the hour, 15 minutes, and 5 minutes. If I'm not working and I'm sat just generally trading at the computer, and I'm specifically there to make money, I'll use the 5 or 15 minute. And then I'll set alerts as well. So I'll set alerts for the indicators to send a message to my mobile device. So I don't need to worry about looking at the charts if I'm not around. So I use 5, 15, 30, and an hour. If I'm doing long-term trading, I use the 4-hour chart. It's very good to plot out long-term strategy. You can get a good idea of what's going on. Remember, the shorter time frame you trade with the algo, it tweaks itself and says to itself, well, this person's trading on the hour every hour and they're going to be diving in and out. So it's going to, a guy I know called Mo, who's another YouTuber, I'm going to get him on next week's live stream. He does a lot of leverage trading, and a 15% swing on the 5-minute chart for him, if he catches it right, is like $10,000. So yeah, using the indicator, like I said, it's you can use it on anything, as long as you're using TradingView, it works on anything. It shows up on absolutely everything. You've got bullish, bearish signals, DCA in, DCA out, and it's 20% off for life at the moment. That's all I've got for that, guys. But yeah, so you the man, HTC, appreciate that, Stargazer. You're always showing up. You're always shouting us out. I appreciate it. Bilal, I hope that answered your questions. Carlos, thanks for the heads up. No problems, guys. Indeed, it's good. Live helps to see the question as well as you do to reply to questions in the videos you make. Yeah, I've got a big issue at the moment where YouTube's punishing me and I don't know why. I don't get any notifications coming through to my phone for comments. I won't get any new subscribers. I don't get any new members on anything, and my stuff doesn't get shown to anyone outside of my thing. It's like I'm shadow banned and I don't know why. I don't know what I've done. But ultimately, I don't really care. I don't do this for money. I make like $250 a month from YouTube at most. I do this for you guys, for the fans, for the people who need a realist, so to speak. Hi, Happy. Any chance you give me guidance on the indicator that you're using and maybe do a tutorial? Yeah. So if you go on the YouTube channel and just type in how I made, I'm going to make a playlist for them. How I turned $300 into $3,000. Just type trading indicator. Any video that comes up with that in on my channel will have everything you need to know about the trading indicator. On Patreon, I'm going to be doing classes. So I'll be giving like a weekly lecture, so to speak. So I'll be giving a weekly lecture, so to speak, on different tactics, strategies, where I'm making money, where I'm not making money, what meme coins to avoid, what coins to go through with, how to avoid anything that's going to continue a downtrend, and if those DCA markers are long-winded and stuff like that. These are all stuff that I do over in the Patreon group, Hassan. So links to all of this in the description, guys. Check that out. HC has got how-to videos. Make sure you use. Yeah. I totally agree. And guys, you know, we got on this like a month ago. If you go and look at all of the top YouTubers, go look at Matthew Perry, go look at Zach Humphries, go look at all of those people. Guess what they've got? Oh, that's right, the trading indicator. Right? So you guys were early. I get these things way before any of the other YouTubers do. And something you'll notice is I'll do a video and then suddenly a load of content appears that's just mine rebranded. So, you know, it's an interesting situation. I sold my LUNC last night and bought XDSC. You know, David M, if you've not got a big portfolio and you've not got a big bag and you've got to keep jumping between things, nobody's judging you here. And I mean, if anybody is judging you, tell them this is crypto and tell them to grow up. We're all here to make money. And if you feel like you've got a better position and a better way to make money on XDC, then so be it. you believe in what you believe in. And what I like about my community is you think for yourselves. A lot of you think for yourselves. You're very forward thinking. When bad news hits, you guys are like, well, we know about this. HCC's told us about this. And, you're always very well prepared. You guys, in my opinion, are the maturest part of the LUNC community. I honestly think you guys are the maturest part of the LUNC community, because currently, like, I go on Twitter and I see Solid Vote constantly just, retweeting stuff about Moon Rabbit and how they're going to do a proposal about it. It's just leave them. Stop moaning, get on with it. But that's what I don't do, is get on Twitter and do the whole bickering thing. And, those guys are there. They rely on other people bringing up their bad news. So the only time I do coverage on them is when they get to a point of where they got 5% voting power nearly from one delegate. That's the only time I go on the offensive, is when I see that Trojan horse being prepped to be put outside the blockchain for everybody to come pick up. No. HappyCattyCrypto is going to be there to make sure that never happens. So over my dead body, those guys will never, ever, ever, ever. Excuse me, that made me cough. Hey, HC, kind of late to stream, but I wanted to ask you what you think about Bendog. I've been hearing a lot about it lately. Guys, I did a video on Bendog. Didn't cover it in here. I can cover it quickly now here at the end. I've got it here. Ben the dog. Interesting situation. Once again, for me, okay, this is something that's cooked off a decent amount. So if you look from the current point we're at, I think we're down a decent amount. So it's 73%, right? So if you look once again and you say to yourself, you go from the birthing of this coin and you say, well, there's a trajectory line. Okay. And what I think is everything's bouncing off of a similar trajectory line, whether it be a meme coin, an alt, whatever, ETH, there's this trend line forming. I think we're going to bounce off of it. So if we do bounce, right, remember, meme coins go insane. They go insane, guys. They go berserk. Look at what Bohm did. And a lot of the times, right, and this is why I aped in to Bohm. A lot of the times, it's simply a situation where you don't ape in and it goes up 1000x. You do ape in and it doesn't go up 1000x. It's the whole thing of you sell your position and it starts going back up. You buy your position, it starts going back down. You're like, oh my God, they're from the future. They know. They're from the future. But yeah, it's interesting situation. Ben, I think, is going to be one of those meme coins that just skyrockets off. So I think maybe having $50 worth of Ben and $50 worth of Wen is a good decision. If you go back and you look at my video where I covered 5 meme coins for this bull run, all of those coins went up by 1,000%. If you guys had bought a bag of that meme wallet, which I did, I think the wallet's seen 2,000, 3,000%, even though I aped in $10 on each thing. It's out there. It's available. Use it. Utilize it. Make something from it. Yeah, it's a very interesting situation. Emotion is the killer. So Richie, emotion is the killer. I agree. I absolutely agree that it is the killer. It causes so many issues when it comes to things, because you're told to hold your bag from the bottom to the top. See, I didn't believe that. I believe you should have a 50% bag you hold from the bottom to the top. And then I think you should have a 50% bag that you just dip and dive in and out of, right? Because if you're going off of the markers and stuff like that, if you're dip and diving in and out, you're catching these trend swings, that's 200%, right? And then it comes down and it cooks off again by 91%. So you sell your position, it comes back down, you buy in again, and you make an extra 90%. It's an interesting situation. It's one of those ones where a lot of us are from LUNC and a lot of us, we've lived inside a bubble for so long and we believe that it's taboo to go elsewhere. And someone was like, oh, you can Terraport a load of crap, but you go and buy meme coins and stuff. It's like, yeah, well, these meme coins aren't directly pillaging and plundering our blockchain. And it's the reason why I won't cover Lenny. It's why I won't do it, because it's not built on our trading pairs. We don't benefit from it. This chain doesn't benefit. It just bolsters the third-party application that it's been launched on. Regardless of it using its technology, right? It's not giving anything to the system. In effect, you've got a car that's just depleting petrol all the time, and you just have to keep refilling it, and it just depletes, you refill it, it depletes, you refill it, it depletes, you refill it. So guys, couple of things that I'm involved with at the moment, like I've been saying about BNB, OPXH. All right, this is definitely something for me, is my gem. Okay, we all look at something and we say to ourselves, this is my gem. Kind of like the rifleman's prayer. This gem's very similar to others, but this one's mine. I think OPXH has a insane future ahead of it. Insane. We're talking a more or less a layer 1 blockchain in the end that's going to have validating. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. They've got DEX, they've got sell-less DEX, they've got an amazing burn system, and they're doing all of the right things. If you're looking for something with low market cap, 4.47 million market cap is so low at the moment, and this keeps moving negatively to BTC a lot of the time. So it will move with BNB. So BNB pumps, this pumps. This is just in a zone at the moment for me, what I call the accumulation zone. Eventually, this thing is going to go 20 mil market cap, 30 mil market cap, 40 mil market cap, so on, so forth. So this is another one. Vitalik Smart Gas, VSC. I'm going to be covering this week because I'm going to be validating this blockchain. This is one of the only things that are not bleeding at the moment. And this is only $3.16 million market cap. All right. So these are real low market cap. And these are what I call utility tokens. You might call them something else. You might call them I call these utility tokens because they've got utilities. They do stuff. Now, Vitalik Smart Gas has a standardized burn feature built in. So for every transaction, it burns a certain amount. And then there's like a flat gas rate fee. Depending on certain circumstances, there's an NFT system that you can use, which you directly benefit from. There's all sorts of different things going on. But once again, VSG and OPXH for me are definitely two projects that have got a lot of potential. You know, you're talking about buying into LUNC, in my opinion, when if LUNC was ever even at, which it wasn't, a $3.16 million market cap. I mean, apply the LUNC market cap to this and you've probably got a 10,000x on your hands. And it's once again, it's some of these things where you can just ape in $10, right? Well, you're going to go and buy a takeaway this weekend. All right, well, don't, spend the $10 on some crypto because that's what I do. That's what I do all of the time. Absolutely. Look, me, I will only do an hour. We're an hour and 25 minutes in. But guys, I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I'm having a good time as well. I don't have a lot of time to do live streams during the week, but this has been decent. Vitalik Smart Gas, though, like I was saying, guys, definitely something that I've been interested in, something that I'm investing in. And once again, guys, I'm not paid, right, to go over these things. I'm not paid to cover these things. I literally go around looking for what's good and what's really up and coming so we can find the next thing that's going to do a boom. Because this is what will happen with OPXH and VSG. Eventually, they just go boom, boom. And you wake up in the morning and you sit there and you think to yourself, Jeebus, that was a good $10 investment or a $20 investment. I mean, if you invested $10 into Sync on February 7th, like I did, it went up 1,300%. It's insane. It's insane. Just from just from $10. So you don't need to be aping into these things with tens of thousands of pounds. You just need to be not greedy. You just need to accept the gains for what they are, take what you can, take the win and move onwards. And eventually you'll build up to a point where you'll chuck $10,000 into something. You have the balls to do that. And, hey, maybe it pay off for you and you end up doing the whole thing that I've seen people do, whereas they go $1,000, get 1,000x, and they get 1,000x from that and work their way up to $1 million. So anything's doable. But my best advice is to people, stop thinking about this long-term play situation because crypto doesn't just go directly upwards. Okay, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. That's how money's made. That's how price fluctuates. If we all stop buying and we all stop selling, we're all just sitting on it, the charts would stop moving. If you ever see a chart stop moving and it's not doing anything, it's because there's no trades. There's nothing going on. And that's what you see a lot of the times with some of these new coins. So if your chart does stop moving on a new coin, you know why. It's because there's no trades. And for me, that's a good sign, because you're so early into these things that by the time it gets up 1000x, if it comes down 200%, you wouldn't even care your gains would be so high. And that then gives you the ability to hold on to something for a lot longer. If you make 1000x on your $10, take your $10 investment out, take $20 out, double your initial entry, take that out, and everything goes as profit. Everything goes as profit past that point. Absolutely laughing. Absolutely laughing. Pork. Another coin. Definitely something I would keep an eye on. I saw that scrolling just there at the top. Definitely something I would keep an eye on. Book of Meme, like I was saying at the beginning of this, guys, definitely something I'm keeping an eye on. More information coming on VSG next week. Like I was saying, we'll do a proper video on it. We'll get you all of the information of what you need to know, the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, and I'm kind of giving you cat with hat. No way there's a cat with hat. Is that actually a cat with hat, guys? I saw a penguin coin the other day, and it was like Ponky, but with a penguin instead. And they'd done it like the Nirvana album with the baby. Instead it was a little like penguin thing, but they didn't draw a winky on him, which I thought was disrespectful because of the Nirvana album and stuff like that. Side tandem, cat with hat. Well, it must be relatively new. If it is, it must be very relatively new, so to speak. Looks like a pump and dump, bro. That's like a proper situation where you're like, hey, I just bought this new meme coin. Oh my God, it's run up by this much. And it's gone. So cat with hat, not too, oh no, that's not cat with hat. I thought I spelled, I did. So is it cat bit? Bilal, you're going to have to be more specific. We need more information. Someone said to me, they were like, why don't you make a coin, Jay? It's like, do I look like I want to be hated for the rest of eternity for launching some shit coin? Probably shouldn't have said that. Oops. That's probably why I'm shadow banned. God damn it. Do it for your fans. You're a philanthropist. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, not on major exchanges yet. Okay. Maybe we can find it on CoinMarketCap. Well, there's two of them. So which one would it be? Bilal, which one would it be? Would it be the top or the bottom one here on the screen? Oh, let's look at this one. Whoa, look at the token supply. All of these meme coins normally have sexual innuendos. There are like 69,000 coins, or like, what is it weed smokers do? Is it 520? Is it 520 or 420? No, it's 320, isn't it? I've got to Google it. Hang on. Oh, it's 420. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, very interesting. We have gems, penguins, we'll know. Yeah, literally, guys. But those are tokens, Tabriz. They're specifically designed to be housed inside the Penguin Island game. So they have no value whatsoever. So it's never something that ever becomes a coin unless someone chucks in some liquidity into the pool, which would just be ridiculous. That won't happen. Their value is based inside the game. So yeah, very interesting situation. If you go on CoinMarketCap, oh, trillion cat with hat. Yeah, I've got it. I've got it here. 1 trillion cat with hat. Few listings. It's on all of your typical sort of meme coin exchanges, which is quite interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll add it to my watch list below, and I'll keep an eye on it. What do you think with Ape with hat as potential? There's so many meme coins at the moment. Ape with hat, I did see this a couple of days ago. Let me take a look. No, not Ape coin. Ape with hat. Ape coin's actually another one. If you're into the metaverse sector, the GameFi sector, that's got a lot of potential, even though there's airdrops, token unlock, stuff like that. It's the only usable asset inside BAYC's The Other Side metaverse. So when they do launch that, and it does reach that point, it's going to be like AVAX, if that makes sense, or like Avalanche. ApeCoin in itself is also listed on OpenSea, which is like really unusual, but that's obviously because of the links with ETH and BAYC, so to speak. So yeah, Ape with hat, once again, not many listings, guys. If you're looking for stuff like this, trying to get in early, you can see that there's no CX listings, only DX listings. So Radium's probably going to be your best shot to get this. But Tabriz, OPXH, yeah, Stargazer, yeah, OPXH. I'll get it back up on the screen here for you. OPXH, guys. This is amazing. The community is like you guys. They're built from a disaster. They rose from the ashes of the Safe Moon dilemma drama. I think Safe Moon's a touchy subject. I didn't realize this until I mentioned it once in my video, and I had all these people message me like, oh, you don't know what we went through as Safe Moon people. It's like, dude, I come from the LUNC community. We only know blood. Like having an argument with this guy from Safe Moon. He said, you don't know. You weren't there. And I was thinking, oh my God. But yeah, communities like that end up very strong. And they've got a huge YouTube scene. So there's like a lot of major YouTubers that are behind this. Like they're literally like part of the woodwork of the project in itself. They're not like ambassadors, or they're literally at the forefront of it. They've got good developers. And it's horrible to say this, but they're outshining us as a blockchain, if that makes sense. Like they're literally outshining us in a sense that they are ensuring that they don't open the doors to anything before they've got all of the correct utility and tools in place. And that's what I don't like at the moment about what's going on with LUNC and the security upgrade to get Alliance integrated to open the doors to that. Because you would just be opening the doors for like tons of private market third-party apps to come in and privatize the LUNC sector once and for all. Like that's going to be a genie in a bottle. And like, does everybody remember when LimeWire first came about? Does everybody remember that? And like before that, right? If you think about it, you could only go and get music from a music store, like vinyl records and stuff like that. LimeWire hits, and that's a genie you just can't put back in the bottle. And I think that's what's happening with the security upgrade, that you'd be too far gone to even try to get your own utility use cases put into place for other people to branch off of, if that makes sense. But this is the whole thesis behind Astroport not being fixed and all those different things. But it's just the reality we're in. OPXH, strong believer, very bullish. Definitely won't be selling my position until we're way above $100 million market cap. And even then, I'd probably sell like 25% of it and keep the rest. Staking available. There's different staking options. So you've got all of the different bells and whistles that you would need. And guess what, guys? It's BNB. So it's not Ethereum. It's not expensive. It's cheap. It's fast. It's quick. And it's reliable. Just my opinion. Just my perspective on things. You may feel different. I know we've got a lot of people who are OPXH community members and believers. So do you have your own Telegram? No, I don't. I used to have one. I got rid of it. I gave it to my moderators to handle. I'm out. Don't like Telegram groups. Don't like to be inside groups where times like this, in groups like that, everybody's very unhappy, everybody's very angry, everybody's very on edge, and I don't like it. My mood affects you guys. Does that make sense? If I'm in a bad mood and my head's not on a level playing field, it's not fair on you guys. I need to be in a level space, and I need to be of a positive mind. I need to be able to put myself in a position where I can say, right, there is bad stuff going on, but there's also good stuff going on. But at the same time, let's look at this bad stuff. Let's acknowledge it. Let's do the whole SHIT sandwich thing. And then let's look at the positives. So yeah, I'm more of a guy who likes to just keep you guys updated through YouTube. As you've noticed, I don't use Twitter anymore. Like, because people are just so rude, nasty, angry. A lot of people are racist towards me at the moment, which is really peculiar. In a weird way. I don't like racism. I can cope with a lot of things. I could cope with probably have my head kicked in, but I can't cope with someone judging someone based on their skin color. I think it's disgusting. I think that you are part of a group of people that are very narrow-minded. You're stuck in the past. And the fact that you would distinguish someone based on their color of their skin is just like gnarly. Nobody should be made to feel like that, if that makes sense. It's disgusting. Something I taught my son growing up, those kind of things. That's really wrong to have a mindset like that or think, oh, it's this, that, and the other. But anyway, that's why I don't have that side tandem. But yeah, guys, pushing an hour, 40 minutes. What I'm going to do, I've covered pretty much so much stuff, so many questions, all of the ins and outs. What I'm going to do is call it here. But guys, what I want to say is I appreciate you all showing up today. I know it's the weekend. I know you're busy. I know you've got stuff going on. I know there's not a lot of positivity going on, but I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you guys dropping like. We've got 45 likes. We've got 46 concurrent viewers. For me, that is an absolute win. We've had a $10 donation. That's amazing. I'm going to drive now. I'm going to go get a coffee and a donut. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to watch the market. I'm going to determine when is the best position to more or less get back in, get involved with this. If you're looking for my portfolio updates, my alpha calls, everything that I'm doing during this bull run, just get involved with our Patreon. You can earn so much from that and you can stay on point and you don't need to keep waiting for each video, each update. I'll give you content updates. You get drips, drabs. You've got a one-to-one connection with me, so you don't need to wait for a live stream. You can just get at me there. And everybody in the Patreon knows if you're at me, I'm available. I'm there to help you guys. You've got all sorts of different stuff going on there. I'm going to be releasing 3 wallets. I'll be doing videos on this too. The wallets themselves will be secretive unless you're in a Patreon. Meme. Oh, insane. 3 wallets. Okay. And I'm looking to take around 10,000x gains out of this halving event. That's what I'm thinking with these 3 wallets. Strategizing, playing it safe, not getting ahead of myself, not running full guns blazing into this like all of the other YouTubers and coverers who are telling you this is not a proper dip. This is just a small dip. I think there's going to be a decent dip, a big rip, and then a big dip. And I think on that dip is where you're going to want to really get involved with. Understand the halving event is what dictates and determines when this market kicks off. And we're still 30 something days away from it. So guys, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!